Hey Rick, welcome to the Laughing Monkey Music Show. How you doing today, brother?
Man, I'm doing great. How you doing?
Doing good. So
Took
we
a
are going to
couple of
talk about
days, right?
right, and I feel a few touch and go. We're going to kind of go over some of your you got a lot of new stuff out. Maybe
Right.
go over some of the little shuffling of you've had some records that kind of were hard to find at times, and now it seems like they're popping up more and more online. Some of your older
Right.
stuff too. So maybe we can kind of just go over that and see what else is out there. Let's. And actually, another question for you too, before I forget. We'll start there. What is the American Outlaw guitar? What is
Yeah,
that?
that's a buddy of mine. He makes they're kind of road worn guitars. They're really cool guitars. They're
Yeah.
neck through Telecaster bodies, and he makes a little bit of everything. But his it's called a J5. It's a neck through Tele, and I was wanting a Tele with
Yeah.
a humbucker, just one humbucker, nothing else, just for cause, and
Yeah.
it turned out to be awesome. Now he's made me 7, so
That's pretty funny. Yeah, because I went on the page. I was looking at the gallery. I didn't see really any of the guitars and stuff. It was kind of vague. I was like, oh, I want to see some pictures of the guitars.
right.
So
I'll send you a pile of them.
yeah, send me some pictures. I want to check it out.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. So when we're done with this, all the stuff we talk about, we're gonna put the links underneath on the channel, and then eventually when it goes up on the podcast, everything will be there. So everybody
Okay.
can just click on the links from here and go right to this stuff. Okay.
Right on.
Let's just jump right into this new album you got, man. It's slamming.
Cool. I
So
like it.
let's talk about it, man.
Right.
When you start working on it, writing it before the COVID disaster?
Yeah, it was right before the COVID thing kicked in. We'd been out riding the grind record for like 3 years, and that's kind of unheard of these days. But we called it the little record that could. It just kept going, and we kept playing off of it, and came home and started writing. And I just wanted to do just something different. I didn't want to do another EMN exactly like the last one, or and I just sat down with the guys. I said, man, I'd just like to come at the whole record as not we're a hair band or a metal band or
Right.
a whatever, just good music, rock and roll music, gut music, street music, whatever you want to call it. And I just everything from the drum fills coming in to breaks to how many times we tagged the courses. I just wanted to just change it just to get a little bit something different, catch people off guard, and just to do something different.
I'd say you did. I mean, I felt like not the sound of, but it felt like in some parts like a Sabbathy, Alice in Chainsy, like a darky feel kind of one part.
Oh yeah, man. I mean,
it's just all over the place, all different. I mean, the guitar song on I can't get the song. It's like the second or third song in before the Sin song. At the end, it breaks down to the guitar solo goes on one side, then the other, and the drums is like this little fill. It is so good. And there's a couple songs I actually feel like they're playing, and they play. You guys hit a note and they pull back, and then you sing. And that might be a Sin song actually. It feels like just like you tease and then snap. It's pretty good.
It's all man. This record was so the most organic thing I've ever done as far as when it started going. There was little parts where we got stuck on little hills and things, but man, it was just everything was in house. It was something that one of us or somebody in our circle crew or something had been through, and it was just we just lived it all, man. And it just came out that way. And we were in a totally supernova sound, Memphis. The studio is the most comfortable place I've ever been in. And it just kind of fell together,
Who produced it? Who produced it?
Dave Cal from Supernova Sound Memphis.
Yeah.
He's been running around Memphis for a while, and I've been wanting to work with him. And he just built a studio right behind my neighborhood, and I went down there and hung out one night, and he was letting me hear stuff, and he turned around and goes, now if you do your next record with me, it'll sound this big and it'll cost this much.
Yeah.
I said, I'm in, we'll try it.
It was well, actually it does. It's got a great sound though, so he's someone.
He's like our sixth member. He's got a real natural ear. He's a guitar player. He can sing his butt off. Just all around good guy. I took him, I think Frey was the song that I had the least, Frey and When It Goes Away were probably the ones that were least done. And I just went there and showed him basically I had a verse and a chorus, and I was having trouble with a little bridge part or just trying to, give it somewhere to go. And he jumped right in there and threw stuff at me. And we, that was just his producer hat was really what I was wanting to go and experiment with, because I can write all this stuff and have a million pieces, but unless somebody makes me put it in order, it's just a big,
Well,
a mess.
the phrase is interesting because it does have a lot of layers to it.
Right.
You feel like there's a lot of different things. I mean, it all works together. It's like a puzzle. I can see that would be like a real challenge to put that one together because you have like a lot of little
Oh yeah, man. It just
pieces in
morphed
it.
into, it just kind of morphed into, and that's kind of going back to, I didn't want to, make it where it had to be this vain because I didn't want it to sound this way. I just wanted it. The thing when I started talking about Frey was, there's this thing where I'll go work and there's a metal cable and it's got these things that come out, and if it sticks you in the hand, it hurts. And it made me think of that. So, it's God, I don't know. I can't explain it. It was magical. First time it ever happened like that. So
what I like the album is not, and I listened to a few times, and what I always do with new albums artists, and I like to go back to the old ones and kind of check them out and kind of see, it's kind of fun actually, and you can kind of tell. And as I was saying, I think this album's probably stronger than your first album. Doesn't have the same. You can't compare them sonically because it was a different time period.
Right.
But songwriting wise and production wise,
right.
It doesn't feel dated, but it still sounds like the band.
Right.
Because it's you. It's your voice. You know.
Well, that's one of the things I wanted with Dave. That's what, he goes, we got to keep, he's recording all the new bands. So, and that's what I really needed. I say, I need you to take me here, what you do, take my old redneck country songs or whatever you want to call them, and put your wang to them. And, the whole idea when I started working with him, we went in and recorded Breathe. That was the first song, last song written. And we just did a test, let's do one song, make sure we can work together and all that. And when I got Breathe back, and we worked our butts off on it, I got it back and I said, man, this is so much different than what I've done. And it seems current, and it seems, it just seems like now, and
it feels like the next progression up from Grind, it definitely.
Right. And I felt those two records you could see where we were going with the Grind record.
There's some great songs on Grind too. So it's not that. It's just this one just feels like it's literally maybe two steps. Like everyone at this flight of stairs at this point. I mean, you're raising the bar on yourself next time. You got to really
right
challenge.
Well, I think, the thing that really helped that was, I think we recorded we recorded Grind in two 2-week sessions. Just we had 2 weeks to record the first half, and then when we got hooked up with Bill Chavis and Highball, he wanted to do a full record, so we went and cut the other half, and that was another 2 weeks. But when I called the Bill, when we started writing all these songs, he would every day go, "You gonna send me a song?" And I never sent him nothing, what we were going, the direction, or nothing, until we were almost done recording. And but the thing of it is he called me, he goes, "You want to record, Dave Kelly?" He goes, "I got you 9 weeks in the studio." And man, 9 weeks in the studio this day, shoot, man, I was just like, you got time to go in and actually work and tinker with stuff and get tone, and where you're not doing, okay, I got to track 7 songs today because I got to get tomorrow. So that was a beautiful thing for him. He really stepped in and he did me a solid on the whole thing. He's my partner.
Well, it sounds. I mean, honestly, like I was listening, I was thinking, I'm like, man, if this was like released when records could actually sell like big,
right.
Like this would have been like huge. It would have been like a platinum album, like double. I mean, no one can get a platinum album, like Aerosmith's not can't get those anymore. Well, maybe like one person might by accident, but it's huge. It's good. I like seeing, especially see a lot of bands from that held over all the years. Took the lumps when grunge came, got right back out, just kept doing rock and roll, and just kept doing it.
Well, see that grunge, man. When grunge came in, we were out on tour on our second record, so we watched it come in, and we were. That's my whole fight with the label when we were starting to write on third record was, music's changing. It's street music now. It's more, bang for your buck. It's just, it just seemed to me it was more real, and our music, rock and roll or metal, whatever you want to call it back then, man, it just got really, really washed. I mean,
I think you guys. I'm sorry. I think you guys actually of the bands, because you were less the Clement. I felt that you actually were more of a southern metal band. Like I saw you guys. I saw you in Atlanta. It was like 1990. probably down like
At the
a month.
Cotton Club.
At the Cotton Club, yes. Who else did you
Right.
play with? Who else did you play with?
Oh man, I know one time we played with Dora Pesh and some. God, I can't even remember.
I remember seeing Dora actually at the Cotton Club too one time. I
Right.
saw a lot of. I went to college there, so I saw so many bands. And I actually was on
Right.
the record label for In Effect Records, so I was everywhere. At
I
that
love that
place,
room, man. It was a big old wood room. It sounded great.
yeah, it was a great place. But I remember in class, I was going to school for production. That my teacher says, "Oh, my cousin." I think she was her cousin. Someone in her family was like the guitarist, the bass player in the band, and that's all she talked
Right.
about. Going down to see the band, going down to see the band. I was like, "Oh, well, I'll see you at the show." But yeah. But when I saw you guys, because I heard like one or two songs. You know what I mean?
Right.
The videos. But when I saw you guys, I'm like, man, I mean, you guys didn't even feel like you were glammy. You were just more of a street rock band. Just like
Right.
just like Little Caesar and everything else. Just kind of just go up on the stage and jam type of band.
Right.
Less image. Um,
That was our biggest. I think our biggest obstacle we've fought with all these years is just because of the time
right.
that we were signed. We're automatically a hair band or a poser band or whatever you want to call it. There's poser bands and hair bands and everything out there. I like good is good and shit is shit. So
Right. Well, that's the thing. I love, and I say I love thrash, and I'll listen to glam. I listen to everything. But if we're just talking straight labels of the genre and the time and how it
Right.
transpired, it's got nothing to do with some of the bands, because I wish everything carried over. I think I do always say metal ate itself, because it became a copy of a copy of a copy, like a parody.
Right.
It was right for the picking when grunge came in. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Oh, it was screaming for it. It had to have something happen, or it would just.
Right.
It's where country is now, I think. Or getting there anyway.
Getting there. It feels like it's been there for a while.
Right.
I'm more of a fan of the older outlaw stuff myself.
Right, man. That's what I've been listening to. I've been listening to a bunch of Johnny Cash and
Yep.
just the real old stuff.
Yep.
The classic old country station.
All the old stuff, and Waylon Jennings and Old Willie and everything. All the old stuff. I'm not much for newer shiny glitzy boots. But so actually, let's go back to, so you got that first album out. You guys probably toured like a ton for the first album, right?
Oh yeah, man. We were out for probably a year just in a van.
You said, so the first band, how long did you have to put the album together when you first got that deal?
For the first record?
Yeah.
Oh man, it was done before I went and showcased. That's Guns N' Roses and everything. It came out, and Guns N' Roses was definitely a pillar. They changed the whole face of rock and roll, and that was out, and it was Skid Row, I think, it just came out or getting ready to come out, and so I had the record pretty much written, and I knew that's what I was doing. I was down in Nashville living in a 10 by 20 store all unit with a guitar, sleeping bag, a black and white TV, and me, and I just started writing songs and wanting the deal, and I hooked up with these. Actually, Jim Phipps, my old drummer, he was playing in another band in Nashville, and I went down and kind of joined them, and we kind of just got rid of everybody that we didn't want in that band, and started showcasing. And my manager at the time, Doc Fields, he said, when you get the band together, let me know. I'll come and see it, and we'll do it. And I played him 12 songs, and we were in Memphis, and it was just like, we played 13 shows. We had a record deal, and we were over our heads from the time we did the showcase. So
yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
but it was fun.
Your sound and even your voice, even like sonically, I think the tone was so out of time. Like for Love Could Make You Blind, the notes, the keys that you guys would do were just so different. It was more of actually not grunge. You know what I'm saying? More that the harmonies were so different and less of a
and a pretty,
yeah, pretty, but it was like a really not haunting. It just had this really cutting sound.
Right.
You're like, oh, you weren't here. There's nothing else like that for that the key you guys were in for that.
Right.
And
Man,
that was
that record has some songs. When I go back, the only thing I really hated about that record was not being smart enough to know production and just know what was going on. We were like, four kids sitting there going, "Hey, we're recording," but just the overall sound of the record, it's raw. That's the one thing I like about the first.
I actually think it's good. I think there's
raw.
a lot of bands that actually became huge. It wasn't a day, and I think the first albums were very glossy looking.
Right.
Not glossy looking too, but the sound was kind of like in the middle. Yours was one of the ones that wasn't. You know, by then I had a little more raw than too overproduced. You know what I mean?
Right. We only had one reverb.
You guys, but it was kicking. So you guys got that album out, and so you toured. It was 89, 90, right? 90.
Yeah, 89, 90, we did that. And then we jumped into, God, what is it called? Wake Up Screaming. And
Yep.
that's where I messed up. I was watching, kind of watching the grunge thing happen, and it was starting to form. And
Yeah.
we went out and did that. Bad thing about that is I sold my soul. You know, I did some stuff for money. They got, you do a couple of these songs, we'll give you some money and get them put in a movie. And
Yeah.
you know, good songs they were, but they were out of time. I did one of the songs on there. I think If I Had My Way, and one of them was I Hate Myself, and one of them was Tobacco Road. And you know, Clive Davis called me and said, "Man, if you do this, I'll give you some money if you do this song, Tobacco Road, and these other two." And you know, we'll get them on a soundtrack. And I sold my soul to the devil.
Oh, come on. I'll stop. Save the drama for like the Housewives or something.
Right.
So, Clive Davis calls you and asks you to do a cool song like Tobacco Road. Come on. That's
Right.
what your soul. You're not on stage with Beyonce writing songs for Eminem or something.
Well, I wasn't gonna say no. I know that, but
oh, but those are not. That's not selling your soul, man. You might have felt different if you look back though. It's it's music. It's in your range. You know what I mean?
right.
Now, if you became like
Well,
a dance band back then,
only way I was looking at it was, you know, I figured nobody was going to do it better than David Lee did it. You know, I was a big Van Halen fan growing up, and you know, and that every time I heard it, when I hear my redneck butt doing it, and I hear David Lee doing it, it's just different. But hey, like I said, Clive Davis he don't call many people and ask them for much. So you know,
how did you guys get so tight with him like that? How did that?
man, he just come and I don't know.
He came down and saw you, right? He literally came down when you guys showcased. He saw you, right?
Yeah.
That's not a thing he did, right? I think it was kind of out of
he
the
came down and hung out with us and took my boots home and put them on his desk for a year. And I don't know, he liked us because we were ratty. Yeah, he took my old ratty cowboy. I had a guitar string and duct tape and beer can holding it all together, and he put them on his desk for a year. You know, every time we'd go in there and listen to something, they were sitting there on his desk.
That's pretty funny.
He said, "Look at these little redneck boys. They don't know what they're doing."
Well, I think he saw something in you guys. You know, it's pretty good. So, you have Clive backing you for a while at least, and then the music industry just drops out, and I don't think anybody could have survived. I mean, it was just
man.
And the record labels and the agents back then weren't loyal. These are only a few producers were doing it. Nobody was helping each other. It was just nobody could do it. And you know, the biggest complaint is nobody. I always say nobody could work an album like in the '70s anymore.
Right, man. Right.
You know, who can release a double platinum album the first time out? You know,
hey, you know what? When I was growing up, I would hear about records, and you'd have to go out and, you know, it's not as easy as it is today.
Yeah.
You hear about a good record, you had to go to the music store and dig through the box and find it, and then you know, and ante up the $7 for it or whatever it was. And
that's literally me on the weekends at a vinyl shop looking for records. So
right.
digging through the piles of vinyl for a good vinyl. That's what I do now. So that's pretty cool. So you guys did the Wake Up one. I do remember that came out, and I mean, I remember everybody got wiped out. I remember I remember Janie Lane said, he goes, we came in, and when our second album, we had the thing, the label, we walked in, the big album thing was behind the wall. He goes, we got for second meeting, our picture wasn't there anymore, it was Alice in Chains. And he goes, and I just knew. Times were changing, you know? That was it. I mean, everybody got annihilated. So was that your last song, your last album with Clive and the guys at that point?
Yeah, I mean, that's when we were, we were sending, that's what you was talking about, the record label and everything not being loyal, you know. Our whole, our A&R man was gone. All the A&R department was different.
What's that?
And then we come into, you know, somebody that don't know us, and we were sending them song after song. And, you know, like I said, we were out on the road. We seen grunge coming in, so we were writing a little darker and, you know, and a little more street. And all they wanted was Another Love Can Make You Blind. I was like, man, that's done. You know, it's you know, and if I could pop another one out and it just happened to do like that, more power to it. But it just music would change.
Yeah.
It took a big 90 turn, and you know, that's what it was.
Which is yeah, but you guys didn't veer off track with your sound. That was pretty. You guys were pretty legit to what you were before. You
Yeah, I
did
mean, I
okay.
can't go far with a voice like this. We're gonna be country. I don't even know if what you would call it. Just whatever riff these guys play or I play on my guitar, man. If it hits me the right way, then I'm writing it. We're 6 songs into writing a new record. We just recorded one, you know, a while back. So that's what we do.
That's pretty awesome. So actually, as I line trying to figure out which album, so you left. So after Wake Up is when they dropped you, and then you guys were just trying to tour, trying to keep it together at that point.
Yeah, just trying to, that was a big gray area. You run into your little demons on the road and out doing
Yeah.
this stuff, and had to deal with that. And the band was falling apart. 2 of the guys went straight out of high school, straight into a record deal, and then their record deal was gone. So they were, they were getting back home and getting situated, and I just kept trying to put it back together. And I got Travis Hall and Troy Fleming with me, and I started writing songs, and we started, shopping. We wrote the backtrack.
Backtracks. Okay. Yeah.
That's what I wrote then, and I recorded it then, and I sent it to Richard down here at Geffen in Nashville, and he called back. He goes, "Man, I love it. I just don't know what to do with it." And that was before, Zach Wild was doing, the banjo, guitar, and all that stuff. I just went really, with that Backtracks record. I just went really, my buddies called it some kind of hillbilly redneck metal or something, but I just thought it was real Southern sounding. We just threw some traditional, Southern instruments with it, and just made it rock and roll. And I shopped it, but it was just like, I was like, man, we're either so far ahead, we're behind, or it's just out of craziness that this rock and roll and bluegrass stuff fitting together. And then lo and behold, Zach came out a little while later, and there it went.
Because I've noticed Backtracks is popping up everywhere now. It's wherever.
Oh man, I watched that thing sell on eBay for $1,800. I was like, are you kidding me?
You're like, I got a box of them I can sell. Yeah, half price.
Right.
In the garage, I got a bunch of them. Man.
Right.
Let's make a deal.
Right on.
That's crazy. No, but it feels like over the years, like it's finally catching steam. Like it's out there. But then grind. Then you grind.
Right.
And that was clearly your strong band album.
Right. Well, we threw a couple records in there. We did a record. We did Smoking Delta Voodoo with Paris Records, and then we did Deeper Shade of Gray with Paris, and they're getting re-released. I think we've already re-released one of them. And
Deeper Shade of Gray, I don't think I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Every now and then there's some tracks out there on YouTube of like your the Smoking Delta one. I think there's a couple songs out there. I think.
Right.
But
that was probably my best songwriting spurt up until Grind. And this record, it was as far as song content, the songs are great on there. I was coming out of a really bad drug addiction doing it. I sold everything, the last bit of everything I had from my record deal. I sold my Corvette to Jeff Karn, who was playing guitar with me, and we threw every bit of money in it and recorded that record. And I had it in my briefcase for I don't know how many 2 or 3 years before I got with Paris, and they wanted to put it out, and then Bill Chavis wanted to put it out. But yeah, man.
That's cool. So at least getting a second win now. I think you guys are on an up streak now at this point.
Yeah, man, we're trying anyway.
Well, you're locked in. I think you have a pace now. I don't think it's gonna waver as long as you guys keep the track of just.
As soon as they let us in the door, they can't get us out.
No, but I think the band has really clicked. It really, and maybe that's the other part of how tight you guys are.
Oh man, the chemistry with the band, man. When we we got Alan Bone right before we recorded this record, and we had a couple of road shows to do, so we were throwing 18, 20 songs at him. And then after we were, writing with, rehearsing that with him at night, we started tinkering around writing, and he's just got a little bit of different feel, and he just fell in, man. He was just like one of us. And, I just said, let's start writing this record. And man, it just came together, and the chemistry is so good with the band right now, man. It's, and that's a big part of anything in this is, you got to have chemistry with the people, and everybody's got to have their mind going in the same direction. And you know, and everybody in this band knows you live by 12 songs, 10 or 12 songs at each time. You know, better the songs, longer you don't have to work between records.
True, true. So it's crazy because, well, with Grind and then this one, so actually you lose a few. You have one or two new members, right, between Grind and there.
Yeah, I lost my 2 guitar players, and then, you know, drummers. The original drummer Jim Phipps, he wanted back in after he heard the Grind record. He called and called, and I got him back in. And then 2 months later, he was out. And but it was good because it put me in a really bad spot, but it opened the door for Alan Bone to step in. And you know, like I said, he came in and took over all the you know, I throw him what I got, and he shows me what you know, the drum. He came in with the drums on the new record on When It Goes Away, and I just thought it was genius. He went to toms instead of trying to do a, you know, just a straight rock beat, which we'll get to that, I guess.
It's good. It's a good album, man. It's heavy. I love how heavy it is. You know,
heavy, melodic, and heavy.
it is. And you know, it's funny. It goes back to the Love Is Blind thing. There's a melody in there in your things,
Right.
but it's not like a Pretty Boy melody. But there's like a melody that it's like a constant thing that kind of like rides on through.
Right, like when you're going through a situation, that thing that rides on your shoulder. That's you know, that's
Cool.
what
It's
it
different,
is.
but it's your own thing. I mean, what were your singles off you had for Grind? You had a couple, right? For Grind, you had a few.
We had Loco Crazy, we
Yeah.
had Blown Away, and I think that's it.
Those two, I imagine, are gonna.
Oh, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, I thought I lost you. My
No.
phone started acting
No,
crazy.
I said no. Those songs gotta be in your set list, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah, man. You know, when I go out on a new record, what I usually do is when I was growing up and I went and seen, you know, my bands that I wanted to see, Priest, Van Halen, whoever, when they had a new record out, they played the new record, and then they, you know, I always play Love, Walls, Long Hair Country Boy.
Yep.
And then the majority of the show will probably be Grind songs and the new record, you know, or you know, we try to pick, you know, we got a couple records, so, you know, people get bored after 2.5 hours. So, you know, we try to make it where we hit a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But
you guys play for 2.5 hours?
Huh?
You guys play for 2.5 hours?
Oh, we were doing 2 hours and 45, and that man was killing me.
Wow. What are you, like Dave
But
Matthews?
it was just brutal, dumb, you know. But we've knocked it down. We do about an hour and a half. You know, we might start having fun. We'll kick around for another 30 minutes or whatever, and play around. But yeah, man, I just try to push new songs and play you know, the people that come and see us and have come and seen me play ever since I started this. You know, I always play the songs that you know, the ones that got me there, you know.
Oh yeah.
Especially like Love and, you know, Walls and all that stuff, you know. And that's why I kind of redid Love, because I didn't really give it its justice here lately. For the last couple of years, I played that song so much I just really hated it. So when we did this record, I wanted to do a vamp version and bring it back up to where it was a little fresh, and that's what we did.
It's good.
Sorry.
No, it's your stuff. So you have Breathe for the video, and what was the other one you have?
Here's to the One.
Here's the One. And you said you're gonna do a third?
The next one is Sin in My Heart. And then I think the next one after that is either When It Goes Away or Fray. I'm not sure yet. But
those are pretty good choices. I think When It Goes Away would be off the top of my head. I'd put
that's the saddest of all songs, man.
I know that. It is. That's what's so great about it. And it's so dark. It's so good.
You know, the thing about that song is every time we played it, you know, it's so easy. That song, all them ballads, you can go just this way to the right a little bit, and it's almost you know, every kind of the ballad like that will almost fall into the Every Rose category or something. You know, Every Rose has its thorn category, and I just wanted this to be where I was at in my house. I was really on a down, you know, and real sad things were just not good. And John kept coming in and playing it, and he would play it, and I was like, and I kept messing with him, and he finally goes, "Man, when I got here today, I was in a great mood." He said, "Now I'm just mad and pissed off at the world." I said, "Great, now let's go play it." And I just wanted it to, when it goes away is a little stupid saying, but it means a whole lot. You're
Yeah.
waiting for the pain to go away. You're waiting for the
It's a good song. It's
everything to
powerful,
go.
but it is. It's a good sad song. But see, I don't think anything you've done ever compares to, Every Rose. That's its own little ballad thing. Yours is just more. It's more of like just a darker, sad song. I don't. I wouldn't.
Right,
It's too different. I don't think anything your stuff compares over like that. It's its own thing.
right.
But I think it'd be an awesome single myself. All right. So are
I
you
do
guys
too.
going to do any like events, like online or anything? Are you guys doing small things on the side?
Well, we're trying to get up and do some streaming things, and we had it kind of worked out. And down here where I live, they kind of lifted it, and we were starting to do a little bit of playing, and we were supposed to play Saturday night, and then I think it was the other night when we were supposed to do our thing, everything got canceled again, and so as of right now, the only thing on our books is practice Friday. So
So yeah, so actually, so when you get out, so when this gets done, hopefully at some point, it's gonna be a weird year for everybody. You
right.
already have some songs written. You're gonna demo those and then push this album first, right? Because this album should be. It's
Oh,
hard
this
because the
album,
album's
yeah,
out now.
we're just getting
You've
ahead
been
of the
living with
game
it.
right now. We're doing we did a Kiss thing the other night, and we did a very cool version of "Come On and Love Me" EMN style, and we're gonna record that, just because. Just because. And then, like I said, I don't know, the COVID thing, when we were recording the record, we were pretty much done. We were kind of waiting on mixes and stuff like that when that hit real hard. So only thing we've had to do since it hit, we just been in a practice room. So, you know, we played the songs, we've worked through the set, we've made a new set, we've fine-tuned all the new record where we're playing them. The band is playing them spectacular, and then we just got our brain started working, and we just somebody started throwing out ideas, and the next thing you know, I was like, man, we got 6 songs started, we got probably 90% done, one that's real close. I said, damn, we're almost halfway done with another record. so
Well, that's
so
good.
and that's not a bad thing. Having too many songs is never a bad thing in my book. So
No, you might end up doing another grind thing for 3 years with this new album, though. It's pretty good.
right.
I'm gonna tell you, I think there's gonna be a lot of competition too. I keep saying that. Everyone better have a good album coming out from here. There's
I
no
would
reason
hope,
to not.
I
You
would
know,
think everybody should be in there woodshedding and getting their shit together.
I'm expecting a lot of good albums coming out in 21.
Right.
You think
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're like, I don't know, I can't buy everything at once. There's so much good stuff now, and everyone's
Right.
gonna come out and play. All your bands are gonna come out and play these great albums. It's gonna be crazy. So that is
But
cool, man.
that's what's cool though. That's the one thing about the internet. It took away to me, it took away the pigeonholing of a genre or whatever. As you go in there and find good stuff, man. I love everything from bluegrass to the heaviest of heavy. So
Yeah,
and one of my favorite bands in the whole wide world is Alice in Chains. So and that's a beautiful thing.
it is a good thing, and it's funny because like the one song I heard, it's like it feels like but it didn't feel like Alice in Chains actually itself. But it
Right.
felt like it was in the
Oh, but
groove,
yeah, man.
just like some songs actually felt Black Sabbathy without sounding like Black
Yeah.
Sabbath too. It's just
Well, I know it is the song is Unstained, and
it is. Yes, it is.
the whole record. When I growing up writing songs and learning this craft, I watched and all of us did. We watched our heroes, and
Mhm.
then you take the cool things from them to me, or the something you heard them write, and then you take it and do your version of it because there's only so many notes that we can play. So you just kind of take it and form, your heroes into what you do. And then I think if it shows Alice in Chains, if it shows Black Sabbath, if it shows,
Mhm.
Priest, Van Halen, Kiss, whatever, I think that's it should, if you're a kid growing up listening
Well, it's a
you
feel.
know?
It's not actually a sound, because the problem is
Yeah,
when grunge killed itself, there was even
right,
itself, they were actually copying your Alice in Chains and your Pearl Jams, and they just became
right,
the same thing, and that's not cool. This, and like a lot of bands do, is you get the feel. There's like an energy and a soundish. You know what I mean? But it's not
right,
actually them. You go, oh yeah, I can hear an influence, but you're not like, I know that riff. I've already heard that riff. Now
right. Yeah,
they're
yeah. You're
playing
not
backwards
blatantly
now.
stealing, right?
Everyone's got flannels around them and they're trying to play backwards. No. It's a different thing. You
Right.
know, and I actually think it's generational. I think a lot of bands from our age group back then take influences like that. I think would happen a lot in the '90s. A lot of the new metal bands, I think they were kind of copying and pasting it more.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? It
You
didn't feel
know
like,
that.
it's not being original. Just like, oh, rap sound is good, and then, oh, I remember metal. Let's just put them together. But it literally sounded
Right.
like a rap song I knew, and it just free song, and they just,
Right.
um, that's really cool though. Well, it's been awesome talking to you, man. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad we finally got to do it, man. I feel like an idiot the other night. I was like, man, I don't know. I couldn't get nothing to happen. I was like, but yeah, man, I appreciate you talking to us, man. We're just a Tennessee rock band just trying to stay alive.
Well, you guys are jamming. I want to support all you guys and get the word out there. So everything we talked about, and anything else you think of, we're gonna put the links underneath on here, and then
Man,
we'll post.
what's our website? We got emnrocks.com. We got, have all music. Check us out on Facebook. If you hear us playing somewhere, come check us out. Come with an open mind, and man, it's just rock and roll. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. It's just rock
Maybe a
and
little
roll.
bit. Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit afterwards.
It's a good thing. But I want to thank you for your time, man. And then you got more stuff coming up. We'll talk again. All right.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Cool.
you, brother.
Thank you, man. Take care.